my short-term missions experience was very formative for me personally. I grew up in Southern California in the OPC in Southern California. We had a region, we not a region, it was a regional missionary, Dave Crum, serving in Mexico. He was not called by the Foreign Missions Committee of the OPC, but he was called by the Presbytery to work just over the border in Tijuana, Mexico, with the Presbyterian Church there. And because of that close proximity to our presbytery, to Los Angeles area where I grew up, we were down in Mexico serving alongside Dave Crum, short term on a continual basis. Probably multiple times a year, we'd go down in varying capacities. And so it gave us the Presbytery of Southern California developed a culture of short-term missions really very much through that opportunity. And many of our churches would go down. He established something called Weekend Witness, and you'd go down on a Friday, you'd do some sort of project on a Saturday, you'd worship with the saints down there on a Sunday, cross-cultural, cross-language, and then return home. And so I was one of many who had a lot of exposure to short-term missions in the OPC through that. And that was formative and very helpful for me growing up. And then when I graduated from college, I had the opportunity to go to Eritrea, and that was when the Foreign Missions Committee was just trying to reopen the hospital in Ginda. This is in 1995, and had the opportunity to be there when that was, and apply some of my construction hands-on skills to open that place up.
Now, I've
And that
always
was
thought
actually, sorry,
engineering
go ahead.
is like such the greatest skill to have in the foreign missions field, especially for a deacon. Like if you have small motors experience and you can build things with your hands, a little bit of MacGyver within you, I think that just goes a long way in the field. I think it's good for
Oh yeah,
everyone, but especially the deacon.
yes, it really does. It does. Um, yeah, that was that trip planted the seed actually for us. My wife and I, we were engaged at the time to make our plans for the future and our commitment towards longer term service after a time. And so for me, it was very impactful. But I think that short term missions, whether it's diaconal in nature or it's coming alongside of our missionaries and in more the word side of the
Mm,
mission work that they're doing, um, it connects our missionaries and our fields and our churches in a way that
mm,
just receiving newsletters or just um, receiving and reading reports doesn't do. And so when you go to a mission field and you spend time there and you eat meals with the missionaries and um, you get to smell and taste and feel the humidity or the dryness, the heat. Um, you get to experience the interactions with the indigenous people. They're not just a name or a picture, maybe, but you have a sense of a small sense, but a sense of who they are. The I like to say when you go to a place, you even though a first exposure is very much kind of a honeymoon experience and very preliminary, our minds extrapolate on pictures and stuff like that, and so when you go, it's not what you think it would be, and you just grow, in so many ways, infinite ways,
I
really,
know.
of your exposure to the
Right.
field, to the people, to the culture, to the country, and particularly as Americans, um, we are we tend to be pretty isolated from a lot of the world. They say that if you're, if you're bilingual, you speak two languages. If you're monolingual, you're American. um, right? I mean, you've heard the old joke. So, and it's true, we don't really have a lot of those exposures.
Right.
And so short-term missions gives us a sense and appreciation for the rest of the world in ways that we as American Christians, unique to American Christian Church, we're limited in that way. But to just get to, as you said, the Reformed ecclesiology, um, our ministry is a ministry of word and deed.
Yes.
And our Savior cared about not just soul, but body and
Mm-hmm.
soul. And he does, even as he cares about our body and soul now. The social gospel and the errors of the social gospel was to replace the ministry of, or the care of the body as the gospel, and the care of people as the gospel. But we see it as the ministry of mercy gives a tangible expression, a tangible taste of the gospel, as our Savior in ultimate ways saves our soul. From a spiritual standpoint, um, oftentimes we appreciate that even as he loves and cares for us in our
Yeah.
physical realm as well.
And we'll be resurrected